335is. So I'll let Ashan introduce the car since he knows, everything about his car. So
it's a 2011 335is. I bought it with about 83,000 miles. Now it has 104. It's basically full bolt-ons minus outlets. It has RB inlets, fuel stage 2 pump. It has an MHD custom tune by John Russell JSR Tuning. Has a 5.5-inch intercooler, turbo smart blow-off valve with set charge pipe, and that's about it for the mods.
And then this one is the DCT, so as opposed to the 6-speed, this one's dual clutch.
Yeah, it's the same one out of the M3 and M4, E92 and the F series. It's on Fortunato 500 coilovers with M3 front suspension.
And then for exhaust, you have just the stock mufflers?
Yeah, it's kind of a custom setup. It's using 335is stock mufflers welded into 2.5-inch piping all the way straight back, so all 4 cats are completed with the down pipes. So the 335is is like the cream of the crop. It's the highest model you could get for a 335. It has all the blacked out trim. The headliner is black. That comes with the M Performance package.
And then sport seats, and I assume oil cooler.
Yeah, the oil cooler has the factory tune, which has about 335 horse and 370 foot-pounds of torque with the overboost function that comes with the IS model.
So from my understanding, the overboost is when you engage the kickdown switch, it bumps up the boost from whatever the stock PSI is to give you that kind of extra boost when you kick down.
Yeah, it runs about 7 or 8 PSI, but when the engine is fully warmed up after you're gymming like 10 or 12 miles, it lets you use the overboost, which bumps it up to about 12 or 13, give you that extra 370 foot-pounds of torque for 7 seconds.
Well, compared to the normal E92, 335, or even the E90, he already mentioned everything. The engine-wise, is the engine any different than the normal N54?
No, the engine is all the same. What's special about this car is for a 2011 model year, usually these switched over to the N55, which is all the LCI cars. So this is the only LCI car you could get with the N54 engine.
And then as far as the N54, is like the tune the same, or does it have more power, stock?
From the factory, this does have the BMW Performance package, which has auxiliary cooler for the coolant and bigger radiator fan, and with 335 horse upgrade.
And then the stock one has about 300 horse.
Yeah, it's about 300 equal.
And then does this have an LSD?
No, unfortunately only actual M cars have LSD. These, they're all open diff with the electronic locking style.
So right now we're in pretty much the lowest setting you can get with. I'm just in normal drive mode, no sport mode, no nothing. And then is this what, I don't know how, I'm not really familiar with MHD, but I know with JB4 there's like the different maps. Is it similar to the MHD?
Yeah, right now I'm running an E50 off-the-shelf tune.
Is that your car, or is it?
Yeah, so don't really floor it in drive mode. It doesn't really like it too much.
Really? What happens? Just let mode, or?
No, it's hard to explain, but the transmission mapping, it's not meant for all that. But yeah, so I use drive mode just for like normal day-to-day driving, especially with the tune. The transmission mapping gets a little finicky. So.
And then you control the MHD through this?
Yeah, I could control data log and change the maps through any Android device.
Yeah, same with like Volkswagens. They have like the OBD11, which I just did a video on, which I haven't posted yet, but I guess they don't have an iOS thing. So like I was saying, so JB4, they have the different map settings, and then you control that through the cluster. And if I'm not mistaken, with the MHD, you do it all through the phone, different maps.
Yeah, you do it all through the phone. MHD, they have some cool little features. You could mess with the idle, the coolant target temperatures. You could do the burbo settings, and yeah, stuff like that, little options.
And then you said E50, or?
Yeah, this is an E50 mix right now. Yeah, for 93 I do have a custom tune by JSR, but right now it's running an E50 off-the-shelf tune. Later on I'm horsepower, especially with the stock turbos.
Stock turbos.
It could push somewhere around 450 wheel horse and close to about 550, 560 wheel torque.
What do you think you're at now?
I recently got a dyno done at ISP, and I made about 370 and 380 on the 93 custom tune, but that was with bad gas and my tune wasn't fully
but I'm sure
done properly.
I'm sure if you did the 85 push more.
Yeah, right now on this setup it's probably pushing about 430, 440 and right about 500 wheel torque. It does put you in your seat pretty hard.
And then just driving from normal daily driving use right now, I mean, especially with this DCT, it's really smooth. I've driven my friends. He's actually behind us. I doubt you guys can see him, but he is just a normal 335 6-speed, and I don't know, I'm sure driving a 6-speed every day can get a little tedious. But this DCT is actually really smooth, and just in the normal setting, and then even with the Forgiano 500 coilovers, on daily driving, it's really comfortable. And especially with these sport seats, the bolstering is really good. I've sat in my friends who doesn't have the sport package, so those normal seats, they feel like rocks, and they're not really comfortable at all. But these, it feels like a really good daily driving car.
Yeah, and because the car, I have it sitting pretty low right now. I have all the dampeners in like almost the stiffest setting, and it's still a daily driver like this. I put in sport mode.
Valve on you?
Yeah, the Turbo Smart blow-off valve. Everyone usually goes either HKS or Tile, but I was trying to be a little different. When I first got the car, I had a Synapse, but I was having surging issues with it, so I switched it up a little bit.
And then earlier I felt the brakes. Are these 6 pistons? Just the stock?
No, it's the stock 335i brake setup. I am running EBC red stuff pads with the ECS tuning slotted rotors.
The IS comes with a different brake setup, does it? Or no, it's the same thing?
Yeah. Generally, 335is, they have a good brake setup.
And then I noticed the paddles are just normal paddles,
yeah, they're just normal LCI paddles.
Because in the pre-LCI, there was the weird,
the double touch.
Push. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
Really annoying. But yeah, the brakes would feel really good.
Yeah, the brakes, they're not in the best condition right now, because I do a lot of pulls.
Yeah. So you said they're ECS rotors?
Yeah, ECS tuning rotors.
So I guess the really cool thing about these 335s is all the customization you can do. Like even right in front of me, you guys can't see it, but he has the Android device right here, and I can see all the different, like the boost pressure, like how much accelerator pedal I'm using, all the coolant temperatures, everything's right there. I don't know if you can do that with JB4. Well, I believe with JB4 you have to have your laptop right there.
Yeah, or for JB4 you could also get the app, but I believe you have to get the Bluetooth module or something for it.
Yeah, the only thing I like about the JB4 is the whole in-dash setup. That's pretty convenient.
Yeah, the on-the-fly adjustment. That's pretty nifty.
So in comparison to like the 135, these are pretty much the same cars.
The 135, it is a little lighter, and it does feel like a more road handling car. Yeah.
But they have the 135. They have the 135is, correct, too. Just pretty much the same stuff.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, you could get that with the DCT also.
Yeah, these 335s are really kind of shooting up in value from what I've seen on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Now that everyone's kind of really seeing their true potential. I mean, everyone's always known, but now that they're really becoming mainstream, that they're such tuner cars, and how easy it is.
Yeah, with like $1,000, you can make the car full bolt-on, and they have pretty good numbers for daily driving.
Yeah, very good. And as far as reliability goes,
I mean, these cars, the engine is pretty reliable. It's just everything around the engine tends to fail, especially as the mileage goes up. But as long as you take good care of it, it shouldn't give you that much issue.
Yeah, like the car behind me, my friend, I'm going to do a separate video on that car another day. But he has almost 170,000 miles on that car, and he is a lot of money into that car. But still, I mean, he loves it. I mean, that's everyone with a 335, they love their car.
Yeah, it all depends who took care of the car before. Like this car, it was a one-owner car. I'm the second owner.
How long have you had it for?
It's about a year and a half now, coming up on 2 years soon. Yeah, I got it from IAG Motorsports in Westminster. But yeah, with the way the E85 is set up, for the low end, like daily driving, you don't really run that much boost. So what it does is it lets you run a lot of timing, because E85 it keeps the engine cooler. So like right now, with all this driving we done, we only targeted like 2 psi.
Really?
Yeah.
So I mean, even that 2 psi, I mean, it still pushed me back in my seat.
Yeah, because it's kind of using the motor. It's like an all-motor setup with like a little bit of oomph right now. But when you really start to push it, that's when the car shines, especially with the E85.
Yeah. And then I'm guessing the IS is a different speed limiter too, because I know the normal 335 is just limited to 130. Because I know with the sport package, which Chase doesn't have, it's limited to what, 150, 155? But his is limited to 130 because it's just the normal.
Yeah, probably. I'm not too sure on that, but with MHD and everything, it removes the speed governor, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, no, JB4, you have to get a separate thing for that.
Yeah, I've gone over 160 miles per hour in this car, so...
Yeah, I don't doubt it. How does it feel at those speeds? I'm guessing pretty planted?
Yeah, it feels pretty solid. Like, these cars, especially BMWs in general, they shine over 100 miles an hour, especially with this setup.
What kind of tires do you have?
I have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's up front, and in the front, actually in the back. In the back, I have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, and in the front, Sumitomo HTR, something like that. It's a cheap tire on tire rack, but everyone usually runs those. They grip for the price.
So 245, 265?
No, right now I'm running 245 40/19 in the back and 225 30/19 in the front. Yeah, the car comes factory with 265 30/19 in the back, but I went for a little bit of meat setup in the back right now.
Yeah. So like you said, as far as issues go with these cars, you haven't really had that many? I mean, this is a later model year too.
Yeah.
So that is a good thing, and especially with the IS, I'm sure they ironed out a lot of the issues with the earlier model 335s.
Yeah, like my turbos, they're still holding up pretty good. Few injectors, this car came in Index 12, so I don't have to worry about that. Still on the stock ignition coilers. I've gone through a few sets of spark plugs, but that's especially with the tune and everything. Because especially when you tune, I replace them about every 12 to 15,000 miles, the spark plugs. Other than that, I've done the water pump. That was like the only major repair I've done. It's the water pump, because these have electric water pump, they tend to fail, and there's no telling when they fail. When they do, they just fail.
And as far as user friendliness, what do you think of all of this? Working on it yourself, and then using all this MHD software. Because I know the JB4 might take some getting used to with all the on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, MHD is pretty user friendly. They have a good community where if you need help or anything, you could hit up the forums. But everything is pretty straightforward on MHD. And also, even working on this car in general, it's not that bad. Inline 6 design. Everything is pretty straightforward. Driving in manual mode. So now it's manual.
Squirrely too.
Yeah.
So even with the Sport 4S's, this thing, it really kicks out. But it's a completely different feeling than like C63s. I've made a couple videos on C63s, and this feels like it kind of feels like a JDM car in a way. With the whole twin turbo setup and the way the power delivery is. It's. I mean, that's how all turbo cars are. It just hits you hard, but especially with this car, drop a gear, and it's really controllable too. Like even back there when it was fishtailing a little bit, it's still a really controllable car. That's just 3 Series BMW. They're known for having great handling.
Yeah, and plus the car's in DTC mode right now, dynamic traction control.
So it's not fully off.
Yeah, it lets you let loose a little bit, or let you like swing it a little bit, but if it gets too crazy, the
It'll
car,
kick in.
yeah, corrects you.
And then, you know, as far as amenities go, you know, this being, you know, 335is, you know, you got iDrive, heated seats, dual zone climate control. This is, you know, really a great daily driving car. And, you know, as far as back seats go, not bad. I mean, I'm sure the 135 is a lot worse, but you could fit 2 people back there if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah, and you could fit a big person in the back comfortably. It's pretty nice back there.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're not driving the car hard, it's a really comfortable car. And how's gas mileage? I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing twin turbo, it's not that bad.
Well, with the E85 mix, I get about 11 miles per gallon.
Yeah,
but
relatable.
yeah,
My
that's how the
CLS is the
85
same
is.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, but on pump gas, I get about 17, 18 city. Just as long as you don't have a happy foot, you know.
Yeah, which is kind of hard with this kind of car. But I love the steering wheel. You know, these BMWs, they have the really thick steering wheel.
Yeah, that's the M Performance package comes with that steering wheel.
So the normal 335is doesn't come with?
No.
So then...
Well, actually, all 335i's, they usually have the Performance package.
It sounds like a 240 almost. It sounds like Jesus 240 almost.
Yeah.
I love that sound. Oh, that's so cool. And comparing it to like the new M4, like I've seen some videos, you know, these really like, you know, I'm sure this could beat a stock M4.
Oh yeah.
In some aspects, yeah. But like the way the driving feels, I mean the noise itself, it feels, I mean the M4 is a bit raspier, like in my previous videos on that M4, it's a bit raspier, but like the way the car drives, it feels like a mini M4. Just like the way the power delivery is. I mean this hits a lot harder, but as far as handling wise, it feels just like it. And I personally really love the look of the E92. I think it's a really timeless design. You know, even the new M4s, they still look, the F80, F82, they still look beautiful. But I think this is a really timeless design that, I mean, all 3 Series, even the E46.
Yeah, especially put like a front lip, rear deck lid spoiler, and it really makes the car pop out.
And like I said, these are, you know, really holding their value pretty good, or even shooting up. And the thing I love is that when you put it in manual mode, the car doesn't do what it wants to do. Like, you're still in control. Whereas with other cars, if you put it in manual mode, it still does everything on its own, which is kind of annoying. With this car, it's not like that. This is a really performance-oriented car. It's a really driver-oriented car.
Yeah, when you put the car in manual mode, like the characteristics of the car, they really change.
And then what does the sport button do?
That basically makes the transmission shift as fast as it possibly can, and also makes the throttle more sensitive. Yep, you can have that on now.
So that's sharpens up the throttle.
Yeah, sharpens up the throttle and the shifting.
And then the steering is non-adjustable.
Yeah, this doesn't have adaptive steering.
Is that an option?
Yeah.
But I can't imagine why you need that. I mean.
Yeah, I mean already steering.
Yeah, it's very stiff. I mean, I'm sure with the adaptive one it gets lighter, but
yeah.
I mean, who cares about that? We don't need lighter steering.
And just make sure when you like hit the gas hard, don't shift and let go of the gas real quick.
Oh yeah, that's bad for the boost.
So you could like shift hard, but like don't let go of the gas at the same time because it kind of confuses the transmission.
Is there anything that you'd want to recommend to someone looking to get one of these cars? Because like I said, they're really kind of gaining a lot of popularity these days because everyone's like realizing their true potential.
Yeah, I mean just gotta make sure the previous owner like took care of the car, did his oil changes on time and everything.
Yeah, don't buy a Copart car like Chase did behind us.
Yeah, just make sure the maintenance was up to par and everything else should be squared away. Once you beefing up all the maintenance bonds, then you're good to go.
I'm not even, that's like a quarter throttle and it's already kicking you back in your seat. So that's still literally half throttle and it pushes you back before you know you're already going way above the speed limit. But I haven't even gone past half throttle in this car. It's the same with AMGs. You know, when I drove the C63, there's really no room to go further than half throttle. This is a 335 and it's the same. And that's about it for this video, guys. Thanks again to Ashan. I'll put his Instagram down below. And if you guys like this, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more.